The boys are back in town. What's up, guys?
J-Ho.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Jeffrey.
What it do? What it do?
Weezy.
Weezy. You was out last week, right?
I was out, man.
outside.
Yeah. But you back.
I'm back.
But you back.
Like AZ.
Yeah.
Like crack.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Hold you.
There you go. Yeah. Weezy don't know nothing about that, do you?
Hell no. Whose song is that?
AZ.
He heard me say it.
Feature.
Featured,
You got talking to the mic.
I don't know who that's featured.
Yeah.
That's let me.
Yeah, it ain't feature nobody.
Trick question.
Trick-
It's an unknown dude on the third verse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Also, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it
Nah,
hip
but
hop
you weren't gonna get. You weren't gonna get.
Yeah, you weren't gonna
streets.
get that with
Hip
that.
hop streets.
I
You
hear you.
feel me? That's on
I hear,
everything.
I hear you. Give me your song of the week, man.
My song of the week is Young Jeezy featuring Boosie.
Mm-hmm.
Bees like, you hear me?
Yeah.
I can tell you what it be like.
Okay. My song of the week is Jay-Z and rest in peace R. Kelly. It ain't personal.
I ain't dead. I ain't gonna let you kill.
The song is.
Yeah.
The song he is.
Kelly dead.
Kelly
The song
ain't
he is.
R. Kelly's dead.
To a lot, he is.
When last time you listened to that,
Man.
Jeff? That it ain't personal. Ooh.
Kelly ain't dead.
Hey, go back and listen to it.
That verse.
Yeah, that verse.
That verse.
But that
It's
J
been a
verse.
while.
Yeah, that J verse.
When I'm talking about the verse, it's definitely J.
Yeah.
Kelly's dead. I know somebody shouldn't even walk the earth no more.
Yeah. Huh?
I know somebody who shouldn't even walk the earth.
Talk to me.
Well, if they walking it in the same place,
Talk to
telling
me.
you.
Who?
ain't nobody worse than it.
Put a name on it.
Ain't nobody worse than R. Kelly.
Shit I hear about did is rough.
No.
Oh no,
Comparing that-
he's abusive. He just freak.
Nah.
He a freak and hit a woman.
Yeah,
That's
come on,
all.
man.
He a fan. He a
You know what R. Kelly did, then?
Nah, I don't think he know.
Yeah, he know. I done told him. He keep on. He in denial.
When the first, hey,
My
cameraman.
Yeah.
When
You
no
gotta
woman's
delete that. You
dead.
gotta delete that first.
You hear me? Watch.
All right.
Don't forget.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Don't forget. You forgot on the YouTube for you the other day though.
You gotta watch me.
I forgot to tell you that. Did you remember that?
Da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, you did it on. You just did it on purpose. Oh, okay.
Talk-
They went back.
Yeah. Hey, you joined in with it.
That's my. I ain't gonna lie. That's the only song. It's two songs. It's hard for me to not listen to. And I haven't listened to them in a long time.
Come on, coach.
But them two.
Come on,
them
coach.
two.
I wish.
Yeah. Shout out to Mike G.
Yeah.
My song of the week is Suavemente by Elvis Crespo. I know you're listening, Mike. I know you're gonna laugh about that one.
Suavemente. Suavemente. I don't even want to know. Talk to me. Talk to me, Jefferson.
Sookin' now by Big Crit, man. I don't know how I ended up on Big Crit the other day, but I was on a Big Crit run. Yeah. A lot of coming down on the slab.
Coming on the slab. Coming down on the
Sookin' that was
slab.
Banging.
Off a slab.
More than come down the slab.
That's all he was
It's a
doing.
lot of
coming
slab.
down. There's a lot of slab talk.
Yeah.
But I definitely was like, that song banging. That and The Vent are my two favorite Big Crit songs.
Hey,
And Soul Food.
all right, you went through about 4
That's three.
songs right
That's just
there.
three.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it, guys.
Full Sport Press.
Yeah. No layup line, no warm-ups, no nothing. We just walking right into the stadium, get into the game. Let's do it. When the beat on, then it's on. Wearing our right jerseys on the road, cause how we feel where we roam is our home. Leaving these other podcasts null and void. The show can't miss something like Tom Shepard and corduroys. Full Sport Press, you know them boys. Jay run the point, lock for 3, and me, I crash the boards. Weezy told you that it's paid for.
Full Sport Press.
Greetings and salutations. I'd like to welcome everybody back and some of you for the first time to the Full Sport Press Podcast, the premier sports podcast for the consummate sports fan. And this is your one-stop shop for all sports-related news and topics. I am Jay Hope.
It's your boy Big Jeff. It's your boy Weezy. What did it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Cameron, how you doing, brother?
East to the Middle East.
Heard you. Episode 566, we're asking questions before the start of the NFL OTAs for 2025.
FSP style.
Always FSP style.
You better doggone know it.
Better than believe it.
Bam, believe it. Talk to me, Jeff.
It's up.
Best of the week, my brother.
Cameraman! It is Saturday night's main event weekend. And you know what that means. It's another episode of Who Gets the W. Let's get going. All right, first, we have CM Punk and Sami Zayn in a tag team match versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, whose son? Real quick, bonus question. Whose son is Braun Breaker?
Finn Bella.
Rick Steiner.
Rick Steiner.
I sure was about to say, who the hell is that?
Exactly. There you go. All right. So who gets the W? Weezy
CM Punk.
and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
All right. J-Ho.
Cameron, what we doing?
All right. You going with?
Nah, I'm going with Seth.
You going
It's
Seth and Braun Breaker.
Seth needs some get back.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. Hell, I don't.
J-Ho, you going with what Weezy had?
Yeah.
All righty. Let's move on to the next match. In a non-title match, the Universal Heavyweight Champion John Cena versus R-Truth. Coach Locke, who gets the W?
R-Truth. They got to get John Cena out of there.
It is a non-title match. You're absolutely right. J-Ho.
Yeah. R-Truth.
R-Truth. All right. And Weezy,
This is the last one for John Cena. They ain't gonna let him lose his last.
he's on his last run. He's on his retirement run.
They ain't gonna let him lose.
Both arguments are true on this. It's a non-title match, though. That's the thing that helps. All right. And lastly, in the main event, the World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. J-Ho, who gets the W?
Jey Uso.
Weezy.
Yeah, Logan Paul ain't quite ready yet, so they gonna let Jey. But Jey Uso is on. He on his last of his run though.
Really?
I think so. Nah, he been on the run for about 6 months now.
Well, I know he's talking about his run at the top. Okay, I get
Yeah.
it. Coach Locke.
Oh, okay. I'll play the bad guy. I'm going to go with Logan it is.
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
All right. And that is who gets the W.
Coach, best of the week. Talk to the people.
Man, my best of the week is shout out to the listeners. Everybody supports the podcast, man. The amount of support received for people to purchase shirts, we appreciate you, man. That's my best of the week. It was overwhelming success.
It was, dog.
We appreciate everybody, man.
That shit.
You got a shirt, shout out to you.
Yes, sir.
Jesus Christ, man. I'm gonna be real. That was right. It caught me off guard. I'm gonna be real.
Me too.
Like
Me too.
the amount of people that copped the shirt and even, just going to the point of just like ordering and doing all that.
Yeah.
Man, it was cool to do, man, for sure.
Good
Man.
stuff.
Appreciate that,
They
man.
can catch me off guard. It's good material.
Yeah. Nah, it caught me off guard that many people support. There's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, people fuck with me. People fuck with me on the show.
What's your best of the week,
Fuck
dog?
with me.
What's your best of the week?
My best of the week is, man, football started to come back around, and they did not get rid of the tush push in the NFL. That's my best of the week.
Sure, yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that. Right back to you, worst of the week, Weezy.
Oh, my worst of the week, man. I was sitting at a red light, right?
Mm.
You know, you sit at a red light, probably in turn lane, somebody's in front of you, and the light turns green,
Mm-hmm.
the arrow, right?
Mhm.
And the person's sitting there. So I gave him a beep. He gets mad at me. I'm helping you out, bro. Why you get mad at
You
me?
gotta stay off that horn.
But why you get mad at me though?
Yes, some-
Like if I'm literally just giving you a light's green, bro, it's all
for
good.
real, somebody from Savannah, Georgia is on a gilding right now because of that. Dude got out of the car,
Mm-hmm.
shot him,
Mm-hmm.
dead.
Got back in his car and pulled off.
Just don't blow the horn.
Yeah, he-
You ain't got to get there. I promise you gonna.
Nah, I
get there.
promise I gotta get there.
Now you gonna get there.
Nah, but
You gonna get there.
if by the time he hop out the car, it's too late. I promise. Quick draw McGraw. If by the time he hop out the car, it's way too late.
Quick draw McGraw. Right?
That's what he way too late. You hear me watch. By the time he get out and come to the, it's way too late. Check on your people. Y'all gonna be saying check on your people.
My worst of the week is the WNBA fans, man. They're calling people porch monkeys. It's new people watching the game, and it's ruining their perception of what the league actually is. Like me, Jeff, Coach Lott, Weezy as well. We were watching this league at when it was
The inception.
at the inception, but as far as the height had increased, and now you got people. Don't call me no porch monkey, dog. When I'm spending money just like you,
Right.
don't call me no porch monkey.
That's next level.
Yeah, nah, that's
They
different.
got you got to be banned for life. For that.
Yeah, man. That's so, man. Just do things the right way, Coach. Worst of the week.
My worst of the week. We used to tell if I'm wrong on this one. Went to a restaurant.
Mhm.
They close in 30 minutes.
All right.
I'm at the restaurant. I want to order food, but they closed the kitchen already. They don't. It don't say on their site the kitchen closes at.
It was like a bar type place. Where
Yeah.
Everybody hanging out and the music.
Yeah,
Yeah, the kitchen closed a little early.
30 minutes.
Yeah. They can say, oh man, if the club, I mean, the establishment like
No,
closed-
not a bar lounge.
I'm just saying that if the establishment closed at 1, and they say, well, the kitchen closes at 12.
Okay, but what if they close? What if they close at 11 though, and they close the kitchen at 10:30?
That could happen.
Okay, well, it's,
It pissed you off though.
But
You
this-
must have been hungry.
oh, you already know I was, but this is why I was mad. But I think the only reason they did it was because it wasn't that many people in there. Because I walk in, the waitress just sitting around chilling.
They ain't feel like getting.
They didn't want to. Because she got up to go help me because I was gonna order it at the bar, and she was like, "Oh yeah, the kitchen closed though."
Mm.
I was like, and they was down 2 cooks.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it's a blessing. You don't want that no way.
Yeah.
I promise you don't want that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you don't want that.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I got it. Well, I'll tell y'all after that. Close us out, Jeff. Worst of the week.
Thought it was over for me, ho.
Yeah.
Was getting my miles in the other day. Shout out to the people getting them 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles in a day.
Okay. Shout out to you.
Man, I stepped on a rock. But hear me out though, coach. I heard something go. Pop.
Ooh.
So everybody who's torn their Achilles said it sounded like a rubber band pop, right?
Yeah.
I thought I was over with. And I was catching a cramp because it was not too far in.
yeah.
It was like mile 2 or something. I was
Yeah.
headed back in 3 or something. I thought I was over with, bro. I sat there and looked at myself. I just popped my Achilles.
Oh my
But it
God.
was a rock though.
Yeah.
So basically, me sitting around and people probably thought I was talking to myself,
Yeah.
like trying to stretch. It was really bad. I thought I was out of here though, coach. That was
Glad you all right.
yeah, it was rough.
Man, that's
About 2 minutes, I was a little worried.
That's
I was a
tough.
little worried.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah.
get back to the house.
Yeah.
Any hoozle.
Mm.
Make sure you check us out on iTunes, the Facebook, Instagram, and Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Music to catch up on a full archive of past episodes of FSP. Just simply search Full Sport Press Podcast. J-Ho
Yes, sir.
and Weezy.
What he do?
You guys have a yellow box with Cheerios recipient for our listeners.
We do this week's award recipient is RG3 versus Ryan Clark.
That's right. The knockdown drag out.
It's a
Former teammates.
Yeah.
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 Washington.
Yeah, that's
Yep, yep. On Monday's episode of the Pivot Podcast, Ryan Clark targeted RG3 over the former NFL quarterback's opinion regarding the altercation between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, where somebody was called a porch monkey in that same situation. During Saturday's Indiana Fever Chicago Sky game specifically, Clark took issue with RG3's current and past marriages, both with white women. Now, Monday evening, RG3 issued a lengthy response on social media. Interestingly, in the last line of his statement, RG3 mentions Clark's statement being a, and I quote, bad look for ESPN, and all but insinuating that Clark should be fired. Clark again responded and stated that the beef is real with him and RG3. It is long-standing. It's been since they were teammates in Washington, and he knows why. Guys, who's right? Who's wrong?
neither one of them was right. I mean, well, here's the thing. RG3 has a point.
No,
Right.
no.
Ryan Clark, right? But I'm talking about Ryan Clark. See, but he said what he said. He said
He
the
did
beef. The beef is
Yeah.
way back.
Yeah, it's way back.
The beef is way back. But Ryan Clark going to say he going to tell his man. He said he don't know nothing about, pretty much nothing about being black. That's what he said about him.
I mean,
He's black.
I mean.
I don't care what. I don't care.
No,
I mean,
he's black for sure, but we all know people that don't identify as black.
He ain't never said that. RG3 ain't never said that.
But long time ago, Rob Parker got kicked off of every national TV show because he called RG3, and I quote, a cornball brother. Truer statements have never been said about a human being.
He might be.
Is he
might
a
be
brother?
cornball.
Or is he a cornball brother?
Come on, man.
Bitch, y'all see, y'all
Come on, man. And it was
That was
groundbreaking back then.
uncomfortable.
And
But
it basically got him blackballed
Yeah,
in the
he ain't been
media.
back on
He ain't really
ESPN.
been back on ESPN or none of that since.
FS1 a little bit. but
Yeah, a little
ESPN, He
bit.
was done on E ESPN.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Now, and he was insinuating that he was saying something about his wife. He's never said anything about that man's wife. He spoke on how corny he actually is on social media and in real life. So, I'm not a fan of RG3. Never had been. So,
Yeah, he made it seem like he just went directly at her.
He ain't say
He
nothing
didn't.
about that.
He
No.
ain't said nothing about her.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, RG3 deleted that stuff shortly thereafter, which was
but why would you delete it? then?
that's what I was gonna say. That's
Yeah.
what made it weird. No matter what side of this, here's the thing. No matter what side of this you own, as far as should Ryan Clark have responded, should RG3 have said what he said about Angel Reese, however you look at it, RG3 deleting his tweets though makes it look away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
That's
the part.
cornballish.
Well,
That's cornballish. If you're gonna say something, just stand.
Stand on it.
Yeah.
But that man said that the man's not black. That's not true.
He never said that. He
He's
said
insinuating. He
well,
insinuated.
basically he insinuated that he wasn't a good teammate, and he didn't go into specific reasons as to why he wasn't a good teammate. But we all know people that aren't good teammates. You ain't gotta say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the good teammates.
Who gonna take that? Who gonna take that to him?
Who we taking it to?
Yeah.
They take it.
Who we taking it to?
I think my vote is RG3 deserves this.
You gonna take it to him?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like they ain't got no words with that.
Man, what? You guys ready to get started the first half?
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
That's all.
Full Sport Press.
This your boy FSP Weezy. Join us each and every Monday on all streaming platforms. Don't forget, everything is paid for.
The revolution will be podcasted. First half, the hottest sports news of the past week, like we do each and every week here at the Full Sport Press Podcast. Before we get started, I'm J-Ho.
It's your boy Big Jeff.
It's your boy Weezy. What it do?
It's your man, Coach Locke.
Big Jeff, we're going to talk to my brother.
Thanks for asking, even though you didn't ask. Weezy.
Questions asked.
You can find me at JEasley84 across all social media platforms.
Coach Locke.
Nothing has changed, man. It's Locke_the_great. That's THA. Get that, man.
Say, oh.
J-Ho on Instagram and Twitter, man. Let's talk on Twitter.
FSP_Weezy on IG. I'm at how Weezy on Twitter. Holla at me.
I'll let you.
Let's get to it, man. Let's kick the first half off with some NBA talk. We're down to the final four teams in the 2025 NBA playoffs. Which team will emerge from the East and the West? The Eastern Conference Finals figures to be a rock fight in the latest installment of the Pacers-Knicks rivalry. In the Western Conference Finals features a showdown of two of the league's top stars in Thunder guard SGA MVP and Timberwolves guard Anthony Ant-Man Edwards. First things first, it is the Western Conference. The number 1 seed OKC Thunder versus the number 6 seed Minnesota Timberwolves. Series favorite before game 1. Thunder was -750. Our series prediction and why, Weezy? Who you got?
Man, I got OKC in this one.
And how many?
6.
Okay.
What I seen that last series, that game 7, was the way that SGA can completely take over a game. And I didn't think I thought the lights was too bright. And he showed me different. I think they got that series. I just don't think Minnesota has enough around Ant.
Jeff.
Okay, I'll make this quick. I do believe Oklahoma City wins in 6 games, but I also think those 6 games depend on how tight the referees want to call this. Because Oklahoma City plays great, amazing team defense. They also get a little handsy. And if they want to call it how by the letter of the law, they can stretch this to 7 games. That's how Denver did it. Because certain referees called it by the letter of the law, and no, they get a little handsy out there.
Coach.
I'm going Thunder in 7, man. For one, to me, the Timberwolves, they rely on a 3-point a lot, and that could come back to hurt them. If that 3 ball's not falling, they're going to struggle. Also, we've seen Anthony Edwards get frustrated when he gets double-teamed. So they're going to double-team him a lot, and he doesn't always respond well, but he has games where he's made the right play out the double team. He's made other teams pay, and he needed supporting class to make shots. But
he got a cast, though.
He'll figure out the double team. But I think that the Thunder will win this in 7.
So, I got the Thunder winning in 6. It's gonna be 6 is a good series. These teams are very similar in style, attitude, makeup. That's why it's very difficult to kind of pick a winner within the two teams. But Minnesota's biggest strengths these playoffs have been size and its front court. And if you look at that OKC team, they arguably has a better front court than all of these departments that the Minnesota Timberwolves have. So they have the experience edge in Minnesota, but I think the Wolves just here a year ago. And I don't think that the OKC team isn't as immature as that Timberwolves team is, what I'll say. And if you look at how they're guarding Ant, it's Caruso. They got Caruso on him, and he's a guy that is supposed to be the face of the league. The guy's supposed to be the best in his position. Can't have 1 point in the fourth quarter. That's unacceptable in any playoff game.
I thought it was 0. I thought he did score.
Yeah, that's even worse. I was trying to give him a point.
Yeah, no, he didn't score. That was
in the fourth quarter. Like, you can't do that. That's just impossible. I don't care who out there on your team. And he has a good team because nobody was talking about, the team just isn't good enough when they was playing against an injury-riddled Lakers team.
Injury-riddled? Who the hell was hurt?
Luka. He was sick.
Hold on. Did somebody say this team wasn't good enough, though?
I don't think anybody said that.
I'm telling you, somebody up
No, but they're not good as Oklahoma City. I didn't hear anybody say they weren't good enough.
That team, they're the exact same team.
Yeah, they good.
They're good. They're not good as Oklahoma City.
That's what I'm asking.
They're the exact same team. If you match those teams up,
Okay, Steve and the Timberwolves somebody. But I'm saying, who did anybody up here say that
no.
Timberwolves
What was said was, oh yeah, this Minnesota team isn't as good as the OKC team, and that's not true. And they are. No, they are.
Oklahoma City was
That don't.
okay. All right.
That ain't got nothing to do with the price in China. That team isn't equally good. Your superstar has to be a superstar.
Yes.
You cannot be a superstar and be the face of the league and then have 0 points in the fourth quarter. It ain't never happened.
I've seen superstars disappear.
We've seen superstars.
James Harden.
He's not a superstar.
Oh boy.
So James Harden was never a superstar.
Let's move on, y'all.
He was never a superstar.
Let's move on.
James Harden? He was never a superstar at any point in time.
So when he plays in the playoffs, no, he never played up to a superstar ability.
Say that.
And that's why he's never been a superstar.
I can't say he ain't a superstar. I say he don't show up
James
in Game
Harden's
7.
ever been the best player in his position.
That's the definition of superstar.
He was at one point when he was MVP. He was top his position. He was always top.
You think he was the best in his position?
It was an argument them MVP years.
All right, let's move on to the Eastern Conference, guys.
We didn't pick MVP, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, trying to rush through. Weezy, give me your MVP in the series.
It's SGA. It's got to be SGA.
Yeah, I'm rolling. SGA for me.
I'm rolling.
Yeah, I believe Shea wins it. Well, we picked Oklahoma City. I think we all picked Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
My bad, coach.
Yeah,
we all picked Oklahoma City, so that just makes
we
sense.
can't say if they don't win. That's who we going with. So
Right. Let's move on to the Eastern Conference. The number 3 seed New York Knicks versus the number 4 seed Indiana Pacers. The series before Game 1, the Knicks minus 150. Jeff, series prediction and why?
My goodness, Oklahoma City, Indiana Pacers in 7. This is going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. These are two very evenly matched teams, two very similar looking teams as far as how they play, and just grit. I think it's going to be fun to watch. We should be here for 7 games of fun.
Coach,
I got Knicks in 7. The Knicks are going to have to continue to slow down the Pacers, which they did for 47 minutes yesterday.
47 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, you up 9 with a minute left. You have to close that game out. You cannot turn the ball over. Jalen Brunson has to take care of that ball. He cannot turn the ball over. Karl Anthony Towns cannot disappear in the end like that.
Oh, you make those free throws, we gone.
The game is
Just
over,
make it free
because, I mean, it's out of there. Like, and at some point, you can't keep letting the same man kill you from the 3 like that. Like, you got to see that he's on fire. So now, when you switching him, if you're big, you can't play drop coverage when you switching because he's on fire from the 3. You got to step out and make him drive. Even at the end of the game, when Halliburton was driving to the rim, you kind of just let him not get to the paint, but then you let him go straight back out and shoot the 3, which it wound up being a 2. We saw Kevin Durant toe also in the same situation. But if the Knicks can slow the Pacers down, I think they can win this game because they were built to beat the Celtics in all actuality.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't think they were going to be playing the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. So helping Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns getting them is what they did. But they're going to have to be able to stop the ball whether they score or don't score because the Pacers are pushing that thing, make a miss.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Weezy.
Man, I got this series. I think New York spent a lot of just a lot of energy on that last series. I like the Pacers. Others, I like them hard. I like the guard from Vanderbilt. I'm drawing
Naismith.
I'm drawing, but I like those guys. I like Mathurin. I'm gonna say Knicks in 7, but it's gonna be a tough series.
Yeah. I got the Knicks in 6. Very close series between two really red hot teams. The Knicks have the best player in the series. The Pacers have the better team to me. But I think Jalen Brunson being Clutch Player of the Year, Captain Clutch himself, be the difference between two teams down the stretch. I think the Knicks, they have a superior defensive team. If you look at OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson protecting the rim, that'll be the difference on the other side of the ball. So Knicks in 6 still. Jeff, close us out, man.
MVP.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, series MVP predictions, Jeff.
I have Pacers in 7. I'm going Pascal Siakam in this. He's a matchup nightmare when he's focused for the Knicks to me, and he could be the difference maker in this series throughout these 7 games. Give me Pascal Siakam.
Coach.
Gotta go with JB, Jalen Brunson. They only gonna go as far as he goes.
That's true.
If he doesn't have a great games, they cannot win this series. So I'm going Jalen Brunson.
Brunson in 6. Knicks in 6.
Bronson.
That's crazy. I mean, I ain't mad at him. All right, let's move on to the NFL since we talking about football this week. The Eagles just keep on winning, cameraman. Fresh off this Super Bowl win and fresh off the Green Bay Packers hating. The NFL in their spring meetings had a vote this week to determine if the brotherly shove, a.k.a. the tush push, will be deemed illegal going into this year's season. With a vote of 22-10, 22 people voting yes, the tush push should be illegal, and 10 teams voting no. The league voted to not pass the ban on the tush push. Is this a big deal, little deal, or no deal? Weezy.
It's a big deal because here's the thing. The play is unstoppable when you run it right. But the thing is, these coaches get in their mind and nobody wants to run it. Except
looking at you, Buffalo.
But Buffalo runs it and
run it right.
And also the Eagles run it. If everybody does it and the percentage of first downs move up, they will ban this play. Because somebody's gonna win and lose games consistently off this play. But everybody has to do it for them to stop it.
I think it's a big deal. I think the league claims that they wanted to ban this play because of player safety. But then I was about to say the Knicks, but the Eagles have the perfect personnel for said play. It's weirdly specific to like focusing on one team and say, hey, this team can't do something because they're really good at it. No, just, bro, the NFL has a problem at a high level trying to perfect an imperfect sport. And what they do was, finding ways to move the extra point back or figuring out ways to, you can't even wear certain socks when you're out there playing. Man, it's just one of those things. It's cool to have one or two boring plays. It's fine. It's one of those things. I hope it leads to more creative coaches going in and figuring out ways to stop it instead of totally like disassembling a great play. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's been stopped 6 times, but it's been ran.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a big deal because it's going to continue to allow Philadelphia basically to have 4th down territory every drive. If it's 3rd and 3, Philadelphia is more than likely going to get a first down because on 3rd down they're going to run the ball just to get 2 yards, and then on 4th down they're going for it. The surprising thing about this, though, to me was that out of the 10 teams that voted against the ban, 3 of them were from the NFC. So being in the NFC, I would have thought that they would have been a team that wants to go against the rules so they don't have to see it as often as those AFC teams, i.e. the Saints, the Detroit Lions. I don't just understand the Detroit Lions. I don't understand why they wouldn't want to vote against it. AFC teams I see because you're not going to see Philadelphia as often as those NFC teams. So that's what surprised me, that those NFC teams didn't vote against the tush ban.
Here's the thing. I've been against this play the whole time. I understand what you're saying, cameraman. It has been stopped 6 times. However, if you know for a fact, if it's 3rd and 1 or 3rd, as coach said, 3rd and 3, they're going for it. You know what they're doing. And to me, this is the closest thing to unstoppable as you're going to find, because anything less than 2 yards, you know what's happening and what you're going to do about it. Unless you're Buffalo and you run to the left when you don't have as much people that way. But that's the Buffalo way, not to do it.
When can it go back up for another vote? Next year?
I think it's got to be next year. It's been voted down. You got to have 24 votes, and it's been proposed by the Green Bay Packers, and it's over with now.
The only thing that can veto the votes if one of them quarterbacks get hurt doing it.
But that's the thing.
If one of the quarterbacks get hurt, they'll stop it.
They did the analysis on the injuries, and there have not been any injuries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No injuries.
Except this play.
Neck in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You got to talk to him, Mike.
Yeah, except that guy's neck in the Super Bowl. It's the only time it was an injury. But if one of them quarterbacks get hurt doing that play, they'll stop it.
Yeah. Well, you want to move on to the halftime, J-Ho?
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
J-Ho. Check us out each and every Monday. The Revolution will be podcast.
Revolution will be podcast.
Halftime, we are here with NFL players in the Olympics. NFL owners voted Tuesday to allow the league's players to compete in flag football at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Now, the Olympic version will feature 10-person teams with 5 players per team on the field, which is 70 yards long, including 2 10-yard end zones and 25 yards wide. A new set of 4 downs is rewarded after the offense crosses midfield. We'll go through the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side, and everybody will pick a quarterback, a running back, center, and a wide receiver for offense. So QB1.
Before you get there,
Yep.
just so people know if you don't know, only one player from each NFL team can compete for a specific national team. So you can't have multiple players from the same team on that national team. For example, you can't have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce on the same team.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. QB1, this person can only run past the line of scrimmage after first handing the ball off and receiving a lateral or going out for a pass. Weezy, who is your pick for QB1?
Probably Lamar Jackson, probably.
Okay, this is 2028. So in turn, Lamar Jackson might be 31, 32. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because it's the first time for it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go with somebody mobile.
My QB1 is Jaden Daniels. He'll be 27, which is crazy in 2028. Yeah. Coach?
I'm gonna try to not pick somebody's already picked. So I'm gonna go with CJ Stroud.
Okay.
Right. Okay. That was my second pick. All right. So
You know who would kill in this?
go ahead.
Kyler.
But he's gonna be in 30 by
He'd be 30 by then.
That's just what he do, though.
that's what he do.
That's what he-
So
good.
you took
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels. I want to say Jordan Love. I say Kyler Murray.
Okay,
Kyler Murray.
cool. All right. Next up is the center / running back. This is the person that can go out for a pass immediately after snapping the ball. It's not a legitimate center,
Yeah.
but yeah. Jeff, your pick.
Bijan Robinson.
That's my pick for sure.
Oh man.
I got somebody else that'll be good.
I think. Oh, my boy, he gonna be too old.
Who?
Christian McCaffrey.
He'll be way too old.
He'll be too old.
It might be glue gun for him.
Yeah, it might go for him.
28.
Running backs.
From
Give me. I can say, give me.
Gibbs.
That's what I was about to say. Give me run back from Detroit.
Yeah.
Read my mind.
Weezy?
I like Bijan.
Bijan. Okay. Yeah, Ashton Genty as well. He'll be 25 in 2028. All right. Wide receiver or a back. This is a person that can line up as either a standard running back or a wide receiver.
Don't matter.
Coach?
Justin Jefferson.
Okay. He'll be 28 at that time. Not that old. That's good time. That's like end of prime for a wide receiver. Because wide receiver, the position of wide receiver is done. If you look at Amari Cooper, if you look at Odell Beckham, them boys can't get off the line. Them boys are done. The only person that has thrived past 31, 32, 33, Mike Evans. You know why? He's 6'5".
Yeah. You gotta get
And
you gotta get off the line.
Yeah,
Mike Evans consistent as
Yeah.
he get.
100%. Yeah.
Mr. 1000.
Jeff, give me your wide receiver.
Coach went Justin Jefferson. I'll go Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. That's a good one. All right. Will?
I'm going to go with the young boy from the Chiefs, the rookie, fast guy.
Oh,
Xavier
from,
Worthy.
Exactly.
yeah,
Words.
yeah.
Okay. I'm going Travis Hunter right here.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
You know who would have been cold? It'd have been young at this though.
Tyreek Hill.
Debo Samuel.
Yeah, he'll be good.
Young Debo.
Young Debo.
Young
Yeah.
Debo.
All right. That's our offensive side of the ball. Let's move on to the defense. It will be a rusher. This is a person that can rush the quarterback from 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2 players. So, any rushers? Weezy, you go first.
I can't pick Myles Garrett there.
Now, he'll be too old. Yeah, he'll be too old. He'll be-
But if anybody gonna still be doing it at a high level at that age, it's
I
Myles
don't know.
Garrett.
I don't know.
Roll with Myles Garrett.
You roll with Miles. Big
Yeah.
gorilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo.
Can't call him. That's probably not a good nickname.
What he called?
The big gorilla.
I didn't mean no harm out of it.
We know you didn't. That's okay.
No, just call him the dinosaur. That's what they call him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Like
I'm picking Micah Parsons. Yeah. 28 in 2028.
Took my pick. Oh man. Okay.
You can pick
I'm going Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter. That's a good one. All right.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go Aiden Hutchinson then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got Nolan Smith on my other side. It'll be he'll be 26 and 28.
All right. I'm not gonna make this too difficult. Let's go Michael Parsons here. For
Yeah.
the second one.
That's mine. That was mine. Okay. Yeah.
We go Mike Parsons.
Micah Parsons. Okay. All right.
That's who my second was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say less. A DB, this is a person who essentially functions as a traditional cornerback.
Travis Hunter.
You going Travis? I got Pat Surtain.
All right, this is spice it up a little bit. I'm going Sauce Gardner.
Sauce is nice.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Sauce,
That's a
yeah.
good one.
What's sauce?
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. No, Derek Stingley?
I mean, we only get one.
Okay, we only get one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And closing us out is a safety who prioritizes defending the pass over the run. Coach?
Nah, he gonna be too old.
No, he won't. Go and
Yeah,
pick.
nah, he injury prone. Nah, he gonna be
To my
old.
Derwin.
Yeah, he gonna be too old.
That's
Dirk won't be too old.
He gonna be too old. Yeah, he gonna be way too old.
Why are you thinking?
What's the safety from Detroit?
Hmm?
What's the safety Detroit now?
3 years, Joe.
Well,
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up. I can't think his name.
From who?
Detroit.
The safety from Detroit?
Yeah.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson?
Yeah.
He's crazy. He's going to be way too old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going with Cooper DeJean right here.
Cooper
Mhm.
DeJean.
Mhm.
All right.
Nah.
I haven't picked this guy yet, but he'll definitely he's going to be on the team if he wants Travis Hunter.
Travis
Put
Hunter. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
pick Travis Hunter. Yeah.
I'll go with Travis Hunter.
Okay. All right. And we put together
Go ahead.
a team for flag football.
Just real quick, are y'all not surprised that the NFL allowed this? As strict as the NFL is on some
Beneath
things?
Well, they only letting one person from one team go. So,
I mean, but still, the fact that even
go.
yeah.
They just can't be on the same nationality team. So if Patrick Mahomes goes, Travis Kelce can go too. He just can't be on
He
the
got
same
to play on the
team.
German national team.
Yeah, he can't play on the same
What,
team.
what I want to see is who they got to play like to compete to make it. They gonna blow their ass out.
I got you. So the teams that have already qualified are it's us, Austria, Switzerland, Mexico, France, and Italy. The other nations in championship rounds that could do it are Canada, Denmark, Israel, Great Britain, Japan, Spain.
Canada plays a version of football, so they should have some players.
So we already qualified.
This is gonna be 90. This is gonna be 92 Dream Team, dog. This is gonna be 92 Dream Team all over again. Good gracious, y'all ready to go to the second half?
Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Full Sport Press.
Hey, it's your man, Coach Locke. Y'all make sure y'all check out the Full Sport Press podcast every Monday, wherever you stream your podcast episodes. Like I always say, get a drummer song.
Revolution will be podcasted. Second half, it is the 2025 NFL OTAs burning questions. Burning is crazy. I'm J.O.
It's your
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's your boy Weezy.
It's your man, Coach Locke.
There's still 4 months until the 2025 regular season opens, Weezy, but in the coming days and weeks, NFL teams will begin laying the foundations of what they hope to be a successful season. Some NFL OTAs, organized team activities, if you guys didn't know, began last week, and the rest will get underway on Monday or Tuesday. This is the time of the year where fans start to get a little bit jittery, here you Titans fans, about the roster questions their teams haven't resolved yet. So we're looking closer to 10 of those still unanswered questions. This is for the teams whose fan bases might be thinking along the lines of, yeah, these moves were cool, but what are we going to do about blank? So here we are attempting to do that. First things first, the first question, why didn't the Falcons move on from Kirk Cousins, Weezy?
Well, they still need a backup.
Mm-hmm.
They still need a backup, and Kirk Cousins has experience. So he's gonna be there to do what he's supposed to do. He can't. I mean, coming off an injury, penalties the man. There's no discrepancy about that no more. He's gonna be a backup.
Coach?
Like we just said, they need a backup, but they're also holding their ace in the hole because if a contender suffers an injured quarterback, they could go get Cousins and use him as trade bait. You know, teams wasn't offering what the Falcons wanted, so they didn't pull the trigger. But they know that if a team that's playing deep have a chance to get in the playoffs and their quarterback get hurt, they'll go get Kirk Cousins and get trade value for him.
Jeff.
Now, Coach said it perfectly there. You spent that much money on him. You can't just cut Kirk Cousins and not get anything for him.
That's right.
And unfortunately, an injury to another starting quarterback on a team that's trying to make a playoff push makes him like the most valuable chess piece on the board.
Yeah.
So you keep that player on your bench. And one more thing real quick. This is the second year after the injury. So this is when, if it's going to bounce back for him, this is when it should look the best.
Yeah. And now he's scheduled to earn $27.5 million, get fully guaranteed. If you look at Michael Penix's salary, it's $5.5 million. So everybody is cool with competing with a rookie scale quarterback as far as their salary. So you just kind of look at it like you guys mentioned perfectly. Somebody will get him after an injury or a bad performance of some of the rookies that'll come on up. So yeah, man, it's a good thing for the Falcons just to kind of hold on to that piece, and then just in case something happens, or they got another quarterback back there. I'm sure it's Tyler Heineke or somebody like that.
There's another team we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
that if something don't go right, going to be knocking on that door.
Yeah. The next question is, why didn't the Cowboys do more running back, Jeff?
I feel like when they made the move at wide receiver, you help your quarterback out. Of course, old cliche, running game helps your quarterback even more. I think his name escapes me, but the running back they had on staff last year did it just enough to keep Jerry happy, and he went and got another shiny piece at wide receiver to make go forward.
Yeah, let him go too. Yeah, talk to me, coach.
Because the big name running back wasn't there when it's time to draft.
True.
The Vegas took Gentry, who everybody thought the Cowboys were gonna go take with their pick. So like you mentioned, they took the wide receiver, and I'm sorry, they went with the offensive lineman with their first pick, Tyler Booker from Alabama. But they did eventually add a running back. It was just in the 5th round when they went and got Jadon Blue from Texas with that 149 pick, who I think is going to be solid for him because he's really good. It's just he was sharing carries at Texas, so it wound up not being too bad for him. It's just not the big splash running back as like a Ashton Gentry.
Weezy?
Well, they put so much pressure on Dak. Dak wanted more help. They paid Dak crazy money. So they went out. So they went out and got another wide receiver. Yep. They're gonna need a running back, and I still think what I'm hearing, Nick Chubb is still out there. So
he is. Yeah. Here's the thing: only 5 teams rushed for fewer yards in 2024 than Dallas. Now Rico Dowdle left. He was a low pick. It's super, affordable, and they let him go because they had to pay so many people. And you look at Zach Martin retiring; that doesn't help anybody at all. Dak is the highest paid quarterback in the entire world right now. So you have 2 project running backs, Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. I think the main thing that you got to worry about now is just making sure that you figure out a way to develop them, because it can be a thing that you can do the same thing Rico Dowdle did. They can come in and reinvigorate themselves and figure out a way to go on into another place. But Miles Sanders can still play. Javonte Williams is coming off an ACL injury, so those guys can't play. I just think they had to spend so much money on re-signing Michael Parsons. And on top of that, CeeDee Lamb. And you still got Dak.
And you trade to get Pickens. Tear it up.
Yeah, and you traded to get Pickens as well. So, yes, J.K. Dobbins is out there. Nick Chubb is out there. Yeah. But I wouldn't put my money on that. It would be a situation where they're not desperate to add to their running back room at all. All right, next up is what is going to happen with the Bengals and Trey Hendrickson, Coach.
I think they're going to lose him. They paid Jamar Chase. They paid Joe Burrow. They able to keep T. Higgins for a year. So the money that Trey is going to want, they're not going to be able to afford him. I'm saying he already took the pay cut, I guess you could call it, when he signed the 4-year, $60 million deal to lead New Orleans to go to Cincinnati. Still killed after 22 sacks in his first 2 seasons in Cincinnati. So they gave him a 1-year deal for $21 million extension, just kind of put a Band-Aid on him, kind of acquired him per se. So him just having these years where he's having 17.5 sacks, 21 sacks in 2 years, he's going to want the money now because he's felt like he's took enough chump change. Think about that, chump change when you talk about $21 million. But in his eyes, he's going to want some money. So deservedly so, I don't think they're going to be able to keep him.
Sure.
The market has been reset, and this is one of those things. It's time to pay the piper. The Bengals look. The offense has scored 40 points a game, but you're giving up 45.
Yeah,
what you gonna do? So you got to pay that man. Find a way to make this happen.
Ain't gonna happen. What you got?
I think they're gonna pay him. I don't think they're gonna give what he want, and I think he showed that in free agency when nobody else really put the trigger on him either. So he gonna get paid, but he's not gonna get what he want, and that sucks because he's the only band in town last year.
Yeah,
making those kind of plays on defense.
Led the league in sacks last year, and you go into that next year waiting on a deal. There's been no communication. The Bengals hadn't said anything about it. This is what happens with them. They're just a historically cheap team. Carl Lawson was there. He leaves to go to the Jets. You know who they replaced Carl Lawson with? Hendrickson. because it's just a lower tier person that you can bring in and pay him way less. And the Bengals, they have a rule that they've been saying that also before they were sharing they never washed jock straps. They just people shared them. That is the Bengals way. But the other rule that they had was no guarantee money outside of the first year, specifically the signing bonus. You know what they broke that for? Joe Burrow a couple of years ago and broke it again this year for Chase and Higgins. So bad part about it, Hendrickson's 30. So that is one of those things where he won't play for the Bengals this season under his contract. So something got to give, and I think he'll be out of there sooner rather than later. Speaking of sooner rather than later, what is going to happen with the Dolphins and Jalen Ramsey, Weezy?
Well, they just got to get what they want. The Dolphins got to get what they want for him. And I think they won a second round or third rounder for him. And I think nobody's giving that for Jalen Ramsey right now, which they should, because he still can play. But he want to go to a piece, so he's not going to say, "All right, we just send me to the Titans." He wants to go somewhere where he can win a ship.
Yeah, that's debatable. Weezy, I mean, Jeff.
I'm surprised this hasn't already.
That's what I said.
I'm surprised this hasn't already done,
especially during the draft.
Yeah, draft. You know, now you probably gonna speak. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, it's mainly due to the fact what Weezy said.
Okay.
They're asking for a second, third round pick.
Somebody could.
Yeah, nobody
make it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, now salary cap's getting tight.
That's right.
Money's getting tight a little bit.
Yeah.
People spent a little more than they thought, or have spent what they had. So I'm pretty sure the budgets are in, right? Yeah. So I thought this would have been finished, but the Rams are on the clock. This is the Rams' move to make.
Coach.
Yeah, I agree, man. He won't beat the Dolphins too much longer.
No, the Rams are going to make the move. This is the Rams' move to make. They're going to trade to get him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to hurt the Dolphins. I know their coach saying they'll figure out and how to make it work, but his departures are going to leave question marks at cornerback because they're only going to have Kadar Kahu and veteran Artie Burns and Kendall Sheffield. That's a lot of unproven players to be your main corners in Miami. So it's going to hurt Miami at the end because they're not going to have that lockdown corner.
Yep. They drafted my guy, Jason Marshall Jr., in the draft this year. And with this team, they thought Cam Smith was going to be the heir apparent to Jalen Ramsey. And he's been a disappointment since he was drafted in the second round in 2023. So one of those teams that Jalen necessarily wants to play for a contender. I think he wants to play where he wants to play. And with his agent, I'm sure that they're going to negotiate a way to get him right where he wants to be. So just be on the lookout for a team. I would say Atlanta. Jeff, you're spot on with the Rams. Not going to Baltimore. Not going to Buffalo.
Nah.
Not going. I'm just thinking of contenders.
His personality doesn't fit in Buffalo.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
I would love to have Jalen Ramsey in Buffalo.
Yeah.
He might be too big of a personality for Buffalo, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did the dig.
Yeah, it ain't. Nah, he ain't staying. Not staying in the AFC, so he would not do that ever again.
And they won't trade him.
Yeah. Next up, why didn't the Steelers take quarterback more seriously, Jeff?
Man, you heard. Remember when you was in high school, and you may have put that feeler out to somebody to go to prom, and he or she didn't reach out to you fast enough. I'm just talking about people listening, women listening.
Women listen.
You know what I mean? Non-binary people, you know what I'm saying? They listening too. You know what I'm saying? They you put that feeler out to somebody to go to prom, they just take a little bit to answer you back.
Mm-hmm.
The Steelers put the feeler out for Aaron Rodgers to go to prom with him, and he's still thinking about his answer.
Usually, in that case, though, somebody is backup plan if they don't answer immediately.
If you built like that,
and it's a situation too. Probably his number one place to go to the prom with was Minnesota. Wouldn't you say?
I don't. If true, but that is the thing. They are waiting on Aaron Rodgers, and they're about to get burned.
I'll be there. What you got, Coach?
They didn't want to make Grant. They didn't want to give Sam Darnold the franchise quarterback label. They didn't think that he would be the guy that could be the franchise. They didn't think he was worth it, because if he'd have gone there, he'd have been a starter for the 2025 season, and they're going to live the decision. And like Jeff mentioned, they're going to hold out and hope that Aaron Rodgers can be the person to make that decision to be their quarterback. We don't know when he's going to make that decision, but they just didn't want to make Sam Darnold their franchise quarterback. So it wasn't really about the money with him either, because he was asking about money, but I don't think they believed he was the franchise quarterback.
Wait,
man, I still think they're waiting around Aaron Rodgers, but I still think he'll sign right before training camp.
Oh yeah,
because what triggers me is that he worked out with the wide receiver DK,
Mhm.
and so I still think he signed right before training camp.
Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah.
So this team brought back Mason Rudolph, who almost got killed by
Miles Garrett.
the dinosaur. Yeah, started 13 games for them from 2019 to 2023. So you still have Skylar Thompson, and you drafted Will Howard in the 6th round.
Jesus.
So that's 3 quarterbacks. Every team goes into training camp, whatever you want to call it, with 4 quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers will be there later rather than sooner, but 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers will be there mainly due to the fact that they traded for DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
He wanted to come to a place where the defense is legit. You still got Watt. So that defense, still Hayward is still playing at a high level. That defense is still ready to go.
Mhm.
It's just an offensive quarterback away from doing some real damage, and I think he'll be fine. You bring in DK for 4 years, $132 million, you give up a 2nd-round pick? No. This team will have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback for preseason week 2.
I don't sign up for that. I'm sorry. If a 41-year-old quarterback that it didn't pan out well for him as his previous team, I'm not signing up for that.
And plus, all these teams know next year's the big draft for the quarterback.
Yeah.
I think that I agree with you that there's apparently more talent at quarterback next year. That's still, to me, that remains to be seen. However, if you Pittsburgh, how many more years is that defense going to be top tier like it is now?
1 more year.
And then you hope that quarterback can hit the ground and have a C.J. Stroud type year.
You hope.
And he's not a Caleb Williams type first year.
But is it better to wait and get the right guy than to panic and end up getting the wrong one?
Okay. I would rather panic and get the wrong one than not have anybody at all.
You got somebody.
Mason Rudolph?
You got Aaron Rodgers.
Right now, as of we recording this show, in the year of our Lord 2025, they don't have Aaron Rodgers.
He there. I don't know that.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he'll coach Khalil.
Yeah. Nah, Tomlin might be the only one he can't take up out of
Can't
it.
take him out of it.
Yeah.
He Teflon.
Jeff,
Yes, sir.
why didn't the Bills add a star wide receiver?
2 words, Josh Allen. He won MVP without one.
Sure did.
So why if I'm writing a check, why would I waste that type of money on what it's going to cost, what I have to break the bank to get, if my quarterback, who's at the top of his superpowers, just won an MVP and I had
The shell of Amari.
Yeah,
The shell of Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I think
Khalil
losing Mac
Shakir.
Hollins is going to hurt, though. I think losing Mac
Nah,
Hollins.
it'd be fine.
Mac Hollins was his guy. Third option.
Yeah, I mean, but bro, no, you ain't got to worry about that because you're bringing in Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is as good as Mac Hollins.
Okay. It's more so about chemistry, though.
I can see that.
Yeah, and they're second in scoring without any for real wide receiver one
Yep.
in the shell of Amari Cooper. They average 30 points a game. So, and you got an MVP out of it. Coach.
You got, hold on, real quick, Coach. They better pay James Cook, though. You better pay James Cook. You better keep him happy, because if you don't keep him happy, and that offense becomes one dimensional again, we in trouble.
Coach.
He wants it now. Yeah, awesome.
Like both of y'all have mentioned, the Bills feel the number of talented receivers who enter the draft every year allows them to find a good production, cheap rookie receiver. Last year, they took their 33rd pick and got our guy, Keon Coleman from Florida State, who they expect to make a big jump next year anyway. You still have Shakir, who caught 76 passes for 821 yards and 4 touchdowns last year.
They don't go get Amari Cooper. My boy get 1,000.
He's just 25 years old. So they don't think they have to spend what the market is for a good wide receiver right now, which is around $30 million or so per year. They feel they can do it without it. So that's why they didn't go get a star wide receiver.
Everything y'all said.
Yeah.
Everything y'all said. Plus, like you said, Shakir had 1,000 last year.
Damn near.
So, and they depend a lot on Josh Allen.
And we're forgetting they still have Dalton Kincaid too.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
And if they didn't play, my bad, Jay. And if they didn't play in the AFC, they right in the Super Bowl.
Well, here's the thing. They and not to cut you off, they've reached the same spot with a number 1 wide receiver in Stephon Diggs and without one.
Yep.
So why break the bank on that?
Dude, Buffalo had an excellent offseason. You bring back your core players, Khalil Shakir, you bring back Terrell Barnett, Christian Benefit, Greg Rousseau, and then you add Joey Bosa. You add Ogunjobi. on that defensive line. Now you got somebody getting to the damn football. On
You don't
defense.
say.
Yeah, and then you draft Maxwell Harrison, who I think is a top 5 cornerback. It was in this draft. So, yeah, man, this is a team that's 5-time defending AFC East champion, coming off a 13-win season, MVP. It's hard to argue that they needed to add so much more. I think they did a good job.
And they got from under that bad contract.
that contract wasn't even bad.
Here we go.
Yeah. Next up, why didn't the Lions bring in a big-time edge rusher to pair with Aiden Hutchinson, Weezy?
Well, before he got hurt, they didn't need one. He was on his way to be defensive player of the year.
He's going to go crazy. Yeah.
He's on his way to be defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Now, I still don't think they need one. Now, he might have a rough year this year coming off an injury, but if he get back to himself, it shows that they didn't need one.
Yeah. They're bringing him back, and they're bringing back Marcus Davenport. Jeff, talk to me.
They scheme well. Their team schemes well. Yeah. They, we saw that as the season went on. They were patchwork the entire season, grabbing cameraman off the street, put him out there at corner and safety. Just make it work. So they scheme well, and I think that's one of the reasons why. Right? They in that culture. People like to say culture. That culture and they scheme well.
Go.
I think they tried to get one. They just couldn't do it. They tried to trade to get Shamar Stewart, who was selected 17th by the Bengals, and they were unsuccessful at that. They tried to find a trade partner in front of the 17th pick, but it would have cost them too much. So they didn't do it because it would have required them to move up 12 spots to get him. So they didn't have nobody that was willing to take the trade that they were giving out. So they couldn't get another edge rusher. They tried to, they just couldn't.
Yep. So in the 6th round, they got a steal with Amon Hassanin from Boise State. I don't know if you guys remember him from my very first Boise State year. He was killing on the defensive end. He was a dog. Got him in the 6th round.
Oh, my God.
But the biggest contracts went out to guys like Josh Sweat, Chase Young, Harold Landry. Couldn't go and get Joey Bosa, Leonard Floyd, Hassan Reddick on 1-year deals. So I think it's one of those things, man, where they're just going to go with what they got because eventually they're going to have to pay a couple of guys. Yeah. So you got to keep that money. Like how you said, the budget's getting a little tight.
It's getting a little tight.
Yeah, you got to budget that money. Next up, we have why didn't the Rams try to address their future quarterback coach?
They didn't think it was enough QBs in this draft that could be a franchise quarterback for the foreseeable future. But they did come away with the extra 2026 first-round pick as a result of their draft night with the Falcons. So, like Weezy mentioned earlier, they feel next year's group of draft quarterbacks is better than this year's, and most teams think it's deeper in the draft with that. So the Rams have the resources to maneuver early in the rounds and address that situation in 2026. So they just willing to roll the dice one more year with Matthew Stafford and try to get a quarterback in next year's draft.
Jeff.
To me, the Rams are in a rare situation where they're playing on 2 timelines. They are win now, and they have that extra pick, like Coach said, to prepare for the future. Because that defense is ahead of schedule. And
that's true.
And don't look now; they are the best team in that division. So why waste they are. They made the playoffs. They won the division last year, and they're bringing everyone back. So why not with that wide receiver core and that running game? They got two wide receiver ones. They got 2 running back.
They got 1 wide receiver. Oh no, they got Devontae.
They got Devontae Adams and they got Puka. Okay, and they got 2. They got 2 running backs. They got 2 backs.
Got 2 running backs,
and they got a tight end. Hey,
they
got Hebe. Hebe had 800 last.
And they still got Matthew Stafford, who's playing at a high level.
That's what I'm saying. They are at 2 timelines. They are win right now, and they got a young defense where they're going to be there for the future too. Great front office.
Yeah, but he's still productive.
You can't get off that line, bro.
But he opened though.
But
he opened it.
He's still
the same.
If I have the luxury of putting Devontae Adams in single coverage, I'm okay.
You're not doubling Puka Nacua.
They better.
They ain't doubling Puka.
But anyways, yeah, they have like just said, they got the best of both worlds. Remember a couple years ago, they was in salary cap hell.
That's right.
And like just said, the defense is playing out of their man right now. They're ahead of their time, and they still got Matthew Stafford playing at a high level. And
but he's 37 years old. It's a situation where now you maybe get a heir apparent because you got Jimmy Garoppolo and you got Stetson Bennett there.
Yeah, they can go get that next year. Quarterbacks.
Everybody's saying it. It's only about 3 of them.
You can find Garoppolo anytime you want.
No. What I'm saying is, people talking about next year's draft. It's the kid from
I ain't sold on that draft.
Penn State.
I ain't sold on that draft like that.
And really, who else is it?
Arch might come out.
I think Arch stays another year. So then who we
depends on what kind of year you have.
Yeah. Then so who we like?
K Covenant.
Klubnik from Clemson is the one.
K. Klubnik ain't like that.
No. I'm saying, but you asking like
Yeah,
that's
what
what
we're
you-
talking about.
yeah.
He's one of the one of the top picks they talking about is Klubnik.
All right, say less. Next up is why didn't the Bears add a big name running back, Weezy?
Because they got everything else. They went and signed everything else, and they trying to beef up their offensive line for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And they got that they got that offensive coordinator, which is the head coach now from Detroit Lions, who does everything, who gives linemen the ball and everything. So they're just trying to move at a slow pace.
But wouldn't you think that they would do a two-back system similar to what he did with
Montgomery and Gibbs.
wouldn't you think that's something that David Johnson would be like?
He got to get the personnel.
Or Ben Johnson.
He got to get the personnel.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Talk to me, coach.
Yeah, they tried, but Ferguson didn't allow them to. Neither did the first round. They proud those other positions like Weezy mentioned. But if they don't fill the running back rooms where they want it to be during minicamp, then they can go get those. There's some veteran options out there, which we mentioned earlier already. And Nick Chubb, Cam Akers, and Jamal Williams, and J.K. Dobbins. So if it doesn't work out with those running backs they have in the room right now, they still can go get their veteran presence in around minicamp.
They had bigger fish to fry, y'all. Like they had to do something with that offensive line.
Doing it 2 years in a row though.
That's how you build it.
That's how you build it. And offensive line, talent aside, offensive line works better with time together. You got to trust. You got to trust the dude to your right. If you're on the left side, if I don't trust my left guard, I'm trying to do too much.
So we did the same show right around this time last year, and we said that Caleb Williams would have a better offensive line than Justin Fields. He got sacked more than Justin Fields got sacked.
Okay, but I think you bring in Thunny, and then you draft the kid that drafted for the line as well. Like they did the right moves this year. To me,
it'll be better.
And they got the kid from they got the guy from Houston. They got Tunsil, right?
Nah, he went to Washington.
Washington.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So so at the end of the day, they did beef up their line though.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that they're running it back with Swift.
Yeah.
And Roshan Johnson, and
I think you're sleeping on Roshan Johnson though.
But here's the thing, why? And I understand what they were doing. They got the best player available when they got the tight end. What's my boy's name? Loveland, Colston Loveland, and then you go and get Luther Burden to be another guy to get open for the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. I just don't think the offensive line changes that much to get to the point where they're a viable team that I'm worried about. The defense is still lights out. They still got my guy KB there. Tremaine Edmonds is still there. They got a pass rushing line. I just worry that they probably need because then I like Swift, but if you put Swift with somebody, say like, I was saying like getting him in the draft, why didn't they go get Genty? Trade to get Genty.
Because you have to give up another pick to do it.
That's true.
They weren't ready to give.
I don't know if you go ahead, Weezy, I'm sorry.
They weren't ready to give up what they just acquired.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're giving up a pick plus another pick to get a running back. That's a tough sell in 2025.
Your line ain't nothing. No,
Yeah.
it got no one.
And that coach is looking like, all right, I did this with my boy Jared Goff. Man, I know I can do this with Caleb Williams.
I got a player now.
Yeah,
I got a young player I can mold.
Jared Goff good though. He better. He's solid.
Yeah, but if you
He's
start
better than we expected.
okay, but how much is that his coaching? How much is that his coaching and scheming? And then picture that scheme. Picture that scheme with
we gonna win tonight.
Caleb Williams, a coach with an offensive mind that's going to actually play.
Just getting sacked 50 times.
Well, no, you're right.
That's crazy.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Closing things out,
good.
why
Yeah.
didn't the Texans make bigger improvements to their offensive line? Jeff.
I don't like saying this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you know what you needed on that team.
Yeah.
And
You
of course,
trade.
Trey Tunsil.
Yeah. That's a big contract though. So
That would make sense, but then what are we doing to improve it? And what are we
They
doing to protect that large investment at quarterback?
Well, you got Laken Tomlinson coming in there. You got Ed Ingram, Cam Robinson, Trent Brown. You bring in a whole new offensive line.
But it's not they're not cohesive yet. You got players.
And you drafted a tackle in the second round, Ursay.
You got players. So they're not a unit, pause if applicable.
Coach.
I think they made improvements. It's just not the improvements that people thought they should make. Like you mentioned, they went out and got tackles, but they needed more help on the interior part of the line.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like that they didn't really improve the offensive line because they didn't get any interior linemen. But it was also a limited draft selection offensive lineman that they felt could make a big impact from the draft they had. Also, they could have been limited by cap space and financial situations. So the team approach was more focused on a reset and developing existing players with the hope that the new coaching staff can scheme and lead to improvements.
Weezy, it's your division.
Yeah, you remember a couple years ago when they had all the picks and they went crazy in the draft?
Mm-hmm. They got
And-
Will Anderson.
Yeah. And now
CJ.
it's the other way around. Like they're great on
Yeah.
defense.
Okay.
Now they gotta do something with this offense. But CJ Stroud, he struck quick.
Yeah, that's why you got to draft well with those spots because you traded up to get those guys.
Because he could change it.
Yeah, and it can change it. Clearly, that's what happened to them because C.J. Stroud was sacked 52 times in 2024. The only person that was sacked more than him is Caleb Williams. So you got to make sure that you protect the investment, so much so that there were people saying, like, C.J. Stroud is having a sophomore slump. He didn't have any time. His best wide receiver tore his ACL. His second best wide receiver tore his knee up. He's out like Sean Livingston for the next 2 years. And then the my guy that played in Michigan that was killing for him, wide receiver. Killing. He was out like 6 games. Cold ass wide receiver.
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins, yeah. Like you get him there, all of those guys miss at least 8 games.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean,
So
you
that'd be
would.
fine.
I mean, that is a sophomore slip without your help.
You ain't got shit.
Yeah.
You got to be able to throw to somebody. He ain't had nobody to throw to. So now you got Juice Scruggs, who was at Penn State. You move him to guard. It's a bunch of things you can do on that offensive line. Replacing Tunsil is crazy. I didn't understand that, but I mean, I guess D'Amico Ryans knows what the hell he's doing.
They need to win the division this year.
They will. They will.
It's a winnable division.
Yeah, they won it last year
I'm just saying they can't win it
with
every year.
no wide receivers.
They can't win it. Everybody got better.
Y'all didn't get no better.
All right. Okay.
The Tennessee Titans did not get better.
You got better.
They got better
got
quarterback.
That's
They
getting
got
better.
quarterback.
That's getting
They
better.
got better quarterback.
That's a lot. It's getting better.
That's better than what it.
That's
What
better.
they,
offensive line.
Let's be real.
You rolling out Cam Ward versus my boy.
Yeah, man.
Will Levis.
But don't peep this though. Harold Landry is gone. Harold Landry is gone.
Yeah.
Man,
But-
When they roll out a quarterback,
I didn't say that. He
Man,
said
man.
Mayo.
Man,
Calling down for my
Mayo.
calling down
And
for
then
Mayo.
you also look too. You guys spent $80 million. That's a backup quarterback that y'all was talking about.
I
You
take
spent-
that. I take that credit. I
and
take
then
that.
Legarius
It's
Sneed.
gonna be good.
You gave him $80
million. Jerry Sneak. Oh, man.
You gave him $80 million.
He was hurt last year.
Oh. Hey,
last year.
yeah, hey, peep gang. That was a bad one. You guys can't get Malcolm Butler. What did I tell you? I said him and Malcolm Butler are the same player.
You got fired.
Yeah, okay. And he shouldn't have got fired.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
he shouldn't have got fired. And that is our burning questions. Nah, he shouldn't have got fired. Hell nah.
Who shouldn't have got fired?
And Ron Carthon, he shouldn't have got fired. It ain't his fault.
He should have another year.
They
Put it like that.
forced him. They forced him to get Legarius Sneed. They forced him to draft. He didn't want Will Levis.
He went into that job with the wrong attitude.
Yeah, he was collaborating. Yeah, he was collaborating too much with the head coach, and it got his ass fired. Now, tweet some questions throughout the week at Full Sport Press. Don't forget to comment, give us a thumbs up on the YouTube page, on the iTunes page. She a Florida Gator too.
I'm so glad we back talking football.
Yeah,
Here's some questions.
yeah. On the YouTube page, on the iTunes page, please rate and subscribe. But more importantly, don't forget to tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Weezy,
Everything paid for, big baby.
Rush Productions over there.
Shit, I hate when you say
Yeah,
shit
know what I'm
like
saying. That's what you do. You rush the whole goddamn show.
Uh-huh.
We was on fast forward. Yeah, Coach.
Get a drummer song.
Jeff.
that. Come on in, watch. Cause I'm
Pause.
sick of this shit.
Pause.
Yeah.
I'm
Pause.
sick of it.
Hey, in a perfect situation like this, J-Ho, the camera is always on.
Cameraman, the Revolution will be podcasting. We are out.
Let's get it.
Thank you for listening to the Full Sport Press podcast. To catch up on previous episodes, please check out the YouTube page and wherever you find your favorite podcast. Don't forget, tell a friend to tell a friend.
The Revolution will be podcasted.